Hey people, Injured here, 3v3 Faction War. This is Lothas Cataclysm and Space Marines versus Chaos Space Marines for the blue team. Forgefather is a Techmarine. Starts off in ranged combat, puts out some good damage, can also support with structures and repair. Alongside, Overtly Gemerous as an Apothecary support hero fighting in melee by default, begins with a heal and a passive health regeneration aura. And it's the Tenso rounding off the team with a Force Commander, very strong offense, fighting in melee, can also tank, disrupt and support. We got some Lamenters here. Red Chaos team, a MammothMKII with a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive and disruptive hero with powerful battlefield manipulation and control, the Thousand Suns elite scheme. Alongside a couple of Plague Champions, IskNorthen with the, looks like Death Guard elite scheme, recolored black and grey, and Jason rocking the Iron Warriors elite scheme. These guys start off with a damage over time bolt gun. They can get melee weapons, some strong utility and support. Looks like the Space Marines are doubling the south. Yes, indeed they are. And because the Chaos team don't have a Chaos Lord amongst them, they might be a little bit weaker in these opening fights, especially since they're not getting more Heretics up. And there's a Force Commander on the blue team, of course, supported by the Apothecary. They should be able to exert some pressure here. Plague Champion just hanging out. Doom Blast was a little bit sloppy on those Heretics. I think it barely scratched them to get the suppression, but I don't think it did much damage. And they flee. Force Commander's not giving up the chase though on the CSM. And Gemerous, we know how Gemerous loves to get those early flamers, and indeed here it is. That power is getting bashed. Plague Champion now flees. Meanwhile, towards the north, Doom bolts on those two fellas. That fella in particular to the right there. All these CSM are getting into melee now. Tactical Marines staying in way too long. They're going to drop a model. I think they do drop a model. And now the CSM can melee those scouts. Those are overtly Gemerous' scouts, so they might not be paying attention. They dropped one actually while they were bashing power here. And Heretics wiped out. IskNorthen sent his Heretics here to defend. You see their bodies just got flamed to death. Apothecary doing his best to tie things up. Well played, Overtly. I think they bashed one gen, or maybe it was only starting to be produced, the gen. I don't think it was fully built, but they got the node for sure. That was fully built. Scouts with shotguns for the Tenso. Do they all have shotguns? No. Overtly is going for the elite training instead. Forgefather does have the shotguns though. Double CSM for Jason. Double CSM for IskNorthen right here. Are they going to go and melee those tacks? Maybe they're afraid of the shotguns. I think they should move up a bit and shoot the scouts actually. Are they getting a ton of war? What are they up to? Maybe they're waiting for the Kraken bolts to wear off. Meanwhile, Force Commander actually capped that wreck point I saw on the map. CSM here quite low, going south. Don't seem too bothered by it. Heretics with Aspiring Champion for MammothMKII. Those hoods, of course. They saw the shotguns and backed away for some Tzeentchian worship. Here comes the Sorcerer. Might be able to get his sneaky Doom bolts. They're going to cap and probably has an order queued up to leave. Yeah, there it is. Decent Doom bolts hit though. There's some Nurgle worship in the south for the health regen. Blue Space Marine team have this contested power. And now this contested power, both noded. What else we got going on? Noise Marines for Mammoth. Noise Marines up for Jason. I guess that means they didn't get Eternal War yet. No. No Eternal War yet. Nothing for the Heretics either. Plague Champion does have the Mucus Discharge, which is always great when you have the double CSM around you. Suggesting maybe they're not looking for melee CSM in tier 2 unless the Plague Champion goes melee as well. Also Mucus Discharge for IskNorthen and double Eternal War on the CSM here. Overtly straight on the power every chance they get. We got the Flamer in. Grenade shotgun scouts can help defend. Noise Marines might be able to shut down that Flamer with their Sonic Blaster. They're now being tied up by the tacks with Kraken bolts active. And we have the customized Stormbolter and Purification Rites for the Apothecary. Double CSM Eternal War. Getting shots on that single model there. They did drop a model. They dropped two models actually. Plague Champion with a Plague Sword. Ignores melee resistance, does power melee damage and creates zombies. It's a pretty cool sword. Unfortunately, because of the way it's implemented, it's technically not melee damage, so it doesn't go up as it levels, I believe, unless they changed that. I don't think they did. Created a Assault Squad zombie fella there from Forgefather's Assault Marines, just jumping through and exploding. Space Marine team do have these contested points sewn up. What about the south? Force Commanders in amongst some CSM. Looks like the Assault Squad here did some work for the Tenso, soaked up a lot of damage. Plague Champion must have used the heal already because he's missing some energy there. Might just get forced off now because the CSM are too low to fight reliably, I think. Surprised the Force Commander's not chasing him actually, with his bolt pistol doing some work and stuff. What's this? This is IskNorthen to help out towards the south. Noise Marines trying to get on the power, running into scouts but shutting down all their stuff with that Sonic Blaster. It's such a cool weapon. Gonna shake apart these gens now. Sorcerer's here to defend with some Doom Bolts and stuff. I don't think he'll go into melee on the gens. Here comes Overtly to defend. Can you run some interference, Mr. Sorcerer? No. Just backs off the Noise Marines. Oh, there we go. Now shuts down the customized Stormbolter of the Apothecary. Means he can't use the full auto, but did get close and popped off a Purification Rites heal there. Cacophony. And they flee. And there's some Kraken Bolts from Forgefather's Tactical Marines. We do have Heretics coming in though with Aspiring Champion. There's CSM there. Sorcerer is still in play. And looks like Overtly Gemerous is not interested in helping out Forgefather anymore. Going for the gens, I imagine. There's a Doom Bolts at close range. Heretics are in there. They're going to mess up these Assault Marines. Aspiring Champion Heretics do very well against level or tier 1 Assault Marines, especially if they're level 1 too. But they are tier 2 now, Forgefather, so we might see the Sergeant soon for those merciless strikes. We know that because of the plasma gun. Just destroying everything with that 70 DPS plasma. If he levels up and uses overcharge and puts marked target on something, we're talking over 100 DPS plasma if he can hit the shots, because it's not perfect accuracy. Noise Marines with a Cacophony. Heretics, the Aspiring Champion, trying to run interference. Can Doom Blast the Force Commander? I don't need to. Force Commander's engaging them. I think he should be tying up CSM here. Just wants to keep... Yeah, wants to get the Heretics off his tax. There's a jump. Now the Heretics go after the tax. But a little bit distracted there, fellas. Assault Squad get away. It's a well-judged fight, I think, by the Tenso. Yep, didn't drop any Marines. And here come more Marines. Immediately pop their Kraken Bolts. Yes, there we go. And forces a full retreat for Jason. The VP is red, but I don't think it's going to be red for long. Any chance these guys are going to get Flamer and go after the power right now? It might be worth it. Might be well worth it. Although the Plague Champion's still in play, could tie them up and annoy them. Look at this. Speaking of Plague Champions, IskNorthen gets on the natural VP. Bloodletter's on the way for Mammoth. Tier 2 all around. IskNorthen and Jason, the Plague Champion fellas, the slowest to get there. They'll get there eventually. Slow and purposeful. Plague gun? Plasma gun for the Tactical Marines. I wish there was a plague gun. Like a damage over time stinky plasma gun. That would be awesome. There was some talk of giving the Plague Champion a tier 3 missile launcher, which would be fun. That snares on shots like the Plague Marines, but never got it. I think they can defend this power bash. Where are Overtly's tax? They're around. They're right here. Often see Overtly going straight to tier 3, of course, with just scouts and tactical marines. Somehow manages to pull it off, especially in these faction wars. Throws out the heal. Sometimes they get plasma cannons up in tier 2. Big firefight, Assault Squad jumping in. Heretics are there to counter-initiate, but Kraken Bolts though need to choose their targets carefully. I think they should have put those double CSM on melee mode and just gone all in on those assault marines there with the Heretics alongside them. Would have done a lot of damage, and since they would have been melee, would have given that 40% range damage resist thing that you get when you're in melee combat. Well, most things get it. Speaking of melee, double Markov Pawn CSM for IskNorthen. Can support them with the Mucus Discharge heal as well, the Breath of Nurgle. And they scared the crap out of everything there, and maybe they'll get devs up to help fight this. I mean, they have the shotgun scouts, right? Yeah. And maybe a Thunderhammer. I mean, is it smart to get double Mark of Khorne CSM when you're facing a Force Commander? You're just begging to get Thunderhammered, I think. Meanwhile, Noise Marines bashing gens in the northwest. Uh-oh, overcharge. It's overcharge time. Ouch. Gonna kill one on retreat, I bet. Yep. Central power was actually built up by the Tenso. I'm not expecting that. They are annoying. I mean, they're already angry. Do you need to annoy them by keeping on rebuying the node? They're just going to absolutely lose it in a second. Just fight each other. They giving up? Nope, these guys are still doing it. Still trying to do it. Nope, they're giving up. Triple Mark of Khorne CSM here. Flame attacks with the sergeants. Popping Kraken bolts? No. Apparently not. Now they pop it. And Assault Squad jumping in for Forgefather. Can they get up and win this fight? There's the heal, and here comes the Tenso. They can't stay here now. Not sure where those other Mark of Khorne fellas went. Bloodletter's teleporting in though. This could swing it. Bloodletters are nasty, nasty power melee demons. Oh, there's advanced healing from Overtly Gemerous' Apothecary. Need to get on that guy now. Can't let him just do that. It's hard enough to fight Space Marines on an equal footing in a faction war scenario when you've got an Apothecary just healing everything around him. Are they going to drop the Assault Marines? No! Yes, they got them. They did get them. Those were Forgefather's Assault Squad dropping. They really turned that fight around with the Mammoth assist there. Bloodletter's coming in, even though the Force Commander had Thunderhammer, couldn't control all the melee stuff. Look at this. Can they teleport? I think they can teleport. Unless it's on cooldown. Tax get away there. Shotgun blast for the heretics. We have the demonic shield from demon armor and the rod of warp fire. 352 to 287. Is it like 35%? Yeah, 35% range damage resistance. Pretty damn good. Just double Mark of Tzeentch here for Jason it is. They've got chosen Plague Marines as well. These guys unique to the Plague Champion. Damage over time. Stinky Knives doing power melee. I think the damage of a time part is actually heavy melee, isn't it? Or maybe they changed that. It's cool though. They're a cool unit. They explode on death and actually heal themselves, unlike regular Plague Marines. That was taken away from them. That was painful. Those guys are in light cover as well, I think. They just got wrecked. Here's the Assault Squad of Tenso. Level 2. Chosen Plague Marines leaving them alone. Turn around, fellas. They're right there. Here comes that Thunderhammer Force Commander. Nurgle's Rot was put in. Double Mark of Khorne CSM. Maybe they used the battle cry a little bit earlier, no. There's only a single Chosen Plague Marine squad there. Now it's worn off and they're in trouble. Not sure how much difference it would have made if they kept it waiting anyway. Lots of pressure on the VP. Can he actually decap it again though? 295 to 287. Something's on the power. Is this Overtly Scouts? Of course it is. Apothecary falls over. Trying to decap is the Plague Champion. Double Mark of Khorne CSM to run interference. Here comes some heretics as well. They can Nurgle worship to help out the Plague Champion. There we go. Killed another Marine. They seem to be killing quite a lot of Space Marine fellas. Doing a decent job at that. Noise Marines bashing this power and it's going to be a full bash. Although... oh, this is just a node that went down. What about over here? Oh, this is the Tenso's scouts. Overtly scouts are up here. The art of the scout power bash in a 3v3. Look at the just shrugging off the overcharged plasma because of the demonic shield there. What is this? It's Terminators from Overtly. They did go straight for the tier 3 then, I guess. Power Fists almost kills the Sorcerer immediately. Oh, teleporting for the kill. Smack, smack, smack. And they got it. Inspiration on kill there, but nothing to be inspired. Nobody saw them punch the Sorcerer to death there. What is this guy? Oh, sneaky scouts from the Tenso. Grenade? Oh, they don't have the energy for the grenade, I think. Back towards the north. Noise Marines need to run, surely. What are they doing? Even if they're not smacking you, they're shooting you pretty good, fellas. The Bloodletter's coming in now. Yep, they didn't want to fight that. And some Mark of Tzeentch CSM here. Aspiring Champion gets that demonic plasma gun. Bloodletters do huge amounts of damage to Terminators with those power weapons, those Hellblades. Although they're phasing out. Techmarine's there to support, that's why in the scouts, of course. 201 to 287. South is turning red again for Chaos. We have a Predator tank for the Tenso. Tier 3 for IskNorthen now. Jason will be the last player to go if they do indeed go Tier 3. Bashing the powers. Capping the powers. Need some anti-vehicle now, fellas. Jason's gone Tier 3. I might maybe stayed Tier 2, got some AV up. But they want that Tier 3. They get their power back here, the Space Marines. Everyone has their own power back, although this one has no gens. There's the node in. That Nurgle worship, everything's fully healed up. Chosen Plague Marines have awesome health regen naturally as well. There's this, sneaky scouts in this overgrown area. Waiting for the power to be clear to harass it again, I suppose. You have a Predator tank also for Forgefather. Getting shots on the Bloodletters who force off the Techmarine. Might get a big fight here. I think Space Marine should back off this. Triple Mark of Khorne. Noise Marines. Mark of Tzeentch. CSM. Nice grenade though from Forgefather. That was good. Overtly does indeed back off. And gets the plasma gun up for his tax. And they got a good couple of shots in there. So did the tank. Forcing off the CSM. Could have kept one of those squads in play, I think. I think it was just a panic retreat when they saw the plasma gun doing its work. Tank does have its extra armor there. Backing away now is Mammoth. IskNorthen is still here with the Plague Champion. Armor of Pestilence in play too. Almost level 3. Almost 1400 hit points already. Not bad at all. Get 600 from this armor. Oh no, Bloodletters are going to wipe. I think. Worship didn't quite come in time. That was close. Bashing power with a tank now. And tax, of course. They do have a tank of their own, thanks to IskNorthen going for the Mark of Tzeentch to combat the enemy tanks. Jumping in is the Tenso with Vanguard veterans here. First company assault squad that get power weapons. Lightning Claw, a couple of power swords, and a big old Thunder Hammer. But that is a Plague Fist Plague Champion. Kills one. 22 red from a Vanguard veteran model. Not bad. 126 to 287 on the VPs. 221 for red. Chaos team. Blastmaster gets a good shot on those scouts. And he kills one. 119 to 287 now. And Space Marines get their tier 3 mojo on when they start to hit that critical mass of stuff. The Tenso doesn't quite have the red for Terminator. It just needs a little bit more red and could get some Assault Terminators up or something. We do have a Cyclone Missile Launcher here for Overtly Gemerous. And Space Marines are getting the south. 106 to 287 on the VPs. Good shot from that Blastmaster. Chosen Plague Marines are low, but they still have 4 models, and you can see the health regen is pretty nuts. They don't have heavy infantry armor though, which can be good for them, because it means they don't take extra damage from power melee and plasma and stuff, but they do take full damage from piercing. They don't like massive orc shooters and stuff. You can whittle them down quite effectively. Good place for a Blastmaster. It's repositioning though. Maybe it's going over here. That's also a pretty good place for it. Kicking off in the mid, I think. Nope, we got some Tzeentchian worship. There's some Chaos Terminators for Mammoth, supporting them with the demonic shield there. Doom bolts misses. Forgefather's come all the way south. Maybe it's up to... oh no, Overtly's going all the way south too. They're tripling the south. I mean, it is where the contested VP is, and you're not that far away from your own natural. Cyclone Missile Launcher doing some work. Amazing disruption from that thing. Such a good ability. Those autocannon Terminators can start to let rip on this big blob of stuff. CSM trying to close the distance, taking a lot of damage as they do it. But they got in there. Blastmaster, a decent shot. We might see Tome of Subjugation soon. Kind of surprised we haven't seen it already, actually. In fact, do they have it? Yes, they do have it. Tome of Subjugation is in. They've probably been subjugating things for ages. Techmarine flees. They're on the VP here. Yeah, that CSM needs to run. He's on his own. Librarian on the field for Overtly. This is a great way to help counter the subjugation. You see these guys are subjugated here. They can be instantly gated back by the Librarian thanks to the Psychic Hood if they need. There we go. So even if they get like teleported somewhere weird by the Sorcerer shenanigans, they can do that. 77 to 270. Single cap. And no other faction has that kind of support for their Terminators. The ability to gate them like that is amazing. Although I guess the Sorcerer can warp. These guys are in trouble, I think. Assault Terminator is in for the Tenso. Unique to the Force Commander, and I think he's going to get them killed. I don't think that teleports far enough, fellas. They did kill the heretics that were there. Could get Robes of Torment to make Terminator's lives even more difficult, but down they go. Those guys, I don't think they lasted very long. Didn't see them come in, but couldn't have been around for too much longer. Here's the Orbital. Was that... Looks like that was Forgefather, maybe? Looking at the red. Maybe... Oh, I don't think we're going to see a Venerable Dreadnought then. Still putting little bits of pressure on this VP here. What is this? More Terminators? It is more Terminators for Overtly Gemerous. Now they have the Tax, the Librarian, and double Termies. 1-to-1 cap. They're down to 27 though, the Space Marines. That is cutting it close. And there's the 2-to-1. Is that it? Is that going to be it? I think they can get onto the south. There's tons of them. I think they can do it. Force Commander actually teleports in there to get the cap and eats a Blastmaster shot. Didn't know it was there, I guess. I think they're going to take it though. Although here comes IskNorthen. They have enough to deal with that though, right? Yeah, I think they have enough here to at least get the cap momentarily. IskNorthen rocking 2 Chaos Predators of their own. Mammoth has one on the way. Plague Champion in the background here, just smacking some tax that got way too close. Not sure what they were doing. Did they like flank around the Noise Marines or something? Overtly Gemerous at the head of his army. Mistake there in his positioning. Don't often see that. 11 to 264. Plague Champion uses Aura of Decay, but it was too late. And here's an Imperial Abyss from one. It was Jason, I think. And another one from Mammoth. Ouch, that second one was nasty. The Terminator is able to teleport out, though. Double Imperial Abyss. Did it kill the... It killed someone. It killed the Techmarine, I think. Yeah, Techmarine's laying in there. Cyclone Missile Launcher. Nicely timed to hit those guys. Here comes the Tank Hunters. Hunting the Space Marine Predator. Another Cyclone Missile Launcher barrage, though. Markov Corps and CSM are getting into a fight they can't win here. They did get the Predator, but I think IskNorthen was focusing on their tanks. Lost sight of their CSM. They've only got one squad left. A little bit of subjugation on those Terminators, getting gated out. I don't think they were in a huge amount of danger, although maybe their teleportation was used already. Force Commander flees, barely got out of there. Librarian does have the Force Staff as well. Comes the Plague Champion. Leading the line. Tanks are quite low. It's not a huge amount of threat to them. Forgefather does have another Predator tank though. Mammoth's Terminators dropped a model. South is turning red again with some Nurgle worship and stuff. Vanguard veterans jumping in, but those are chosen Plague Marines. That's a good Merciless though. Yeah, and they fled. There's too much there for them to deal with. They stopped the cap. I think that's what they were going for. They stopped the cap. 1-to-1, 11 VPs left for the Space Marine team. Chaos need to keep something on their natural here. Because look at the scouts coming in. Look how quick they are. Seem quicker than usual. They're decapping. The tanks, I don't think saw it. Maybe they've seen it now. It's a kind of awkward area to have your 2 Predator tanks right in that narrow stairway. Techmarine does have Signum Armor, level 5, doing so much damage. Plague Champion got it. Oh, but the natural got decapped. The scouts did it over there. Force Commander trying to grab it back. Blastmaster doesn't knock him off. Battle Cry is active, I guess. Blastmaster Noise Marines are gone. Could not finish the cap. Smack some heretics around. This tank is so low. Oh, misfired or something. Didn't get the shot there. Needs to be careful they don't chase too much. Oh, these are regular assault marines, aren't they? Yeah, they are. And they're getting their melter bot. More assault marines up for the Tenso. It's a very messy tank fight here. IskNorthen drops 2. And this is Mammoth's tank, and it's going to go down and melters on it. Ouch. Lost 3 tanks in like 30 seconds there. Double cyclone shot. But they missed the Predator tank that's back there. Still on 11 VPs. IskNorthen's down to a single tank. There's a Imperial Abyss, probably from IskNorthen there. Just sheer frustration at those tank losses. Had a couple of bad engagements, especially when he lost the CSM. That really set him back. Where is the Plague Champion? Running. Jason's is down. Tax with their faster capping trait are grabbing the southern VP. That one fella had the shotgun blast ready. Can they get on here? Or maybe not. Overtly's on it with 2 Terminator squads. Although they only have 2 models each. They got Librarian support as well for the force barrier. And there's a plasma cannon there. Good luck capping this. Maybe under infiltration you could get a decap. I mean, even that is dicey. Subjugated Terminators here. Their teleport being used, but they'll just be gated out. There it is. On it like a flash. And a decap again. It's a double for the Space Marines, you know. Chaos are letting this slip. IskNorthen has to try to recover. I mean, is it, in this kind of scenario, is it worth getting CSM and upgrading them and stuff? Because you don't want default CSM. They're not going to do much. I would normally say get setup teams, but this is a teleporting force commander here. Mammoth with a Great Unclean One on the way. IskNorthen just lost their other tank. Not sure where. Got the Circle of Summoning coming in. Terminator should be decapping here, surely. Apothecary is taken out. And not decapping. Someone should have been trying to decap there, I think. Plague Champions on their natural. We got missile launcher attacks bashing here. Back to the south where it's blue. Double cap for Space Marines. And they're looking good. Look at their rosters. They are looking good. 2 heroes down here though. Lots of lovely free XP for the Force Commander if you can get over there. Might be worth retreating him and getting those revives. He's going to teleport back. Let's push together, push bot, says Mammoth. Forgefather with more Terminators. There's now 3 on the field. The Tenso's doing well despite losing those assault Termies. I thought that was a nail in the coffin of sorts when they lost those guys so quickly. But they kept their cool. They kept their cool. 2-1 for Space Marines now. Do you push mid as Chaos or do you push south? I think you push south because this is nasty here. Force Commander gets level 9 from those revives, although Overtly's moving their Terminator south, keeping the Librarian back there for the Gate of Infinity. Does it literally have infinite range? I'm not sure. I don't think it does. Blastmaster gets a good shot on these Vanguard fellas. What level are they? Level 3. And the Great Unclean One is going where? Looks like it's maybe going through the mid on the map. There's an orbital bombardment from, I think, Forgefather again, looking at the red there. Can't get the cap with the Force Commander in. Plague Champion might be able to get a decap, at least it's a decent nuke, you know, is sent a couple of CSM squads packing. Plague Marines getting shots. Jason's Plague Champion getting the cap. Aura of Decay from IskNorthen knocking stuff down. Got a bunch of zombies as well from the Nurgle's Rot, I think, and the sword, of course. Look at that. Had to stop capping because he fell over dead. 1-1. Great Unclean One's on this VP now. Killing some tax. And look at this. Terminator's on it with the Demonic Shield. Is this enough? Mark target, but is being tied up is the Techmarine. Vanguard Veterans jumping in. Demonic Shield doesn't save you from this. A no-cap game, you guys. Terminators are getting ripped apart, having to teleport out only one model too. Mammoth gave it a good go, and maybe with a Great Unclean One they can still get a decap here. Maybe. It can't fight everything at the same time though. Sorcerer's getting knocked around. The south, I think, is turning blue. Got nuked too many times, says Jason. The south is blue already, actually. Force Commander doing so much work here. Level 10 and deserves it. And there's the game. Double cap wins it. A comeback for the Space Marines. It started when IskNorthen had that rough fight in the mid. Had those 2 tanks up, but lost 2 of his CSM squads. And then, a couple of minutes later, had a bit of a mishap on these stairs here. Not sure why they didn't finish off that Predator tank. Some kind of misfire happened. And then he chased it. And then the Melter Bomb appeared and kind of capitulated from there. Let's look at his heroes. Level 6 Techmarine. With that scary, scary plasma gun. Level 9 Apothecary. Awesome performance again from Overtly in a faction war. The Tenso level 10 Force Commander. Very strong in the south. Despite losing those Terminators. Didn't let it affect their performance. Level 7 Sorcerer for Mammoth. And the Plague Champions were level 6 and level 4. This is the guy with the fist, I think, yeah. Well, there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. Big thanks to these players for sending in a faction war for our perusement and enjoyment. Hope I see you next time.